This episode of Critical Hit is being brought to you by Loot Crate. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/critical hit and entering our code Critical Hit to save an exclusive 15% off your subscription. Before we get into this week's episode, I thought we would dive deep into the mailbag and pull out an email from Spencer who says, I'm just starting to listen to Critical Hit. I'm on episode 99 right now. You guys are trying to convince the Dark Pantheon to help destroy the cyst. Anyway, I love the Q&A guys. The Q&A you guys have been doing. Was wondering if you guys could cut that bit out and make it one long Q&A episode. Or if there's an archive of all the questions and asked and how they were answered, that'd be nice too. I want to share the advice with my friends, but I don't want to go back and get the episode number and timestamp and flip through it. So much effort. Oh, man.
Boy, that would be quite the endeavor.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be a lot of effort.
Speaking of so much effort, here's the thing. I have no idea where there are certain episodes that are called mailbags or Q&As or those kinds of things. Those are probably ones you can jump into. But as far as the ones where we do the beginning of the show questions, I don't have those episode numbers or timestamps, but I bet that there's a real cool spoilerite out there who would send me that stuff in a nice spreadsheet, and then maybe I could go back and pull that information out and put it together. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, Spencer, unless we can mobilize the Critical Hit army, the critters, and get them out there and do all the things. So I'm glad you guys find the Q&As so helpful. One thing that might be really helpful is for you to sign up on patreon.com/major spoilers, because we have a goal coming up, or it's already passed, depending on when you're listening. Hello, future people. But we're going to sit down and we're going to do a live GM roundtable where we will take your game mastering questions, and then this is a live stream, so you'll be able to hear our answers right away and engage with us and have interactions with us. If you're already a Patreon member, then you're probably already familiar with our monthly live streams where we tell you what's going on at Major Spoilers. So I think maybe hitting that next goal might be a good one to get more of your questions answered, because we do get a lot of questions. And I know Rodrigo gets questions. And I'm sure Brian and everyone else, Sam, probably gets questions too from people saying, hey, I got a question on how you do this, or what do you think I should do here? And that might be a good place to do it. But thank you, Spencer, for your email. If anyone else has any questions, drop them in an email to podcast@majorspoilers.com, and we will address them on a future episode. Pull out this one from Joshua, who says, blah, 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 love the show. You guys know that you're amazing. Let's just get to the questions, because I know you guys are modest. I've noticed that Rodrigo has always said that magic items are pretty much indestructible by normal means, and that you need special magic to actually destroy them. I'm playing 4E, and I have a discussion with one of my DMs who says that magic items are not so indestructible at all. He says that they're merely a little harder to break than mundane items. Is there a page that I can point to that would prove him wrong, or is Rodrigo simply using a house rule that says magic items can't be broken by non-magical means? Thanks so much for everything you do. Signed, Josh.
It is pretty much a house rule. The house rule of I really don't want to bother with people like trying to attack somebody's sword instead of the person they're attacking. Especially if you're playing 4E, it's additionally complicated because you don't really equip monsters. Like monsters just kind of have powers.
Right.
And by that I mean enemies, right? It's like any like ninjas or soldiers or whatever that you fight just kind of have an attack that is named like greatsword, and the dice might match what a greatsword does, but it's not like a baseline critter that has a greatsword. So there are rules for breaking things in 4th edition and in every edition of Dungeons and Dragons. So go ahead and look up the rules for breaking objects. It probably includes the rules for breaking magic items. And yeah, I mean, I definitely just do that because it's pretty difficult to break a magic item to begin with. And so I'm just like, well, I don't foresee a situation where for non-plot reasons a magic item would break. It's extremely easy to break a magic item for plot reasons. I just say your magic item breaks, oh no,
Bye.
and then that's that.
Yeah.
You know,
That's just mean.
you know, it happens.
I mean, it does. I mean, I'm trying to think of. I mean, if we're playing Legend of Zelda, for example,
Right.
some items break really easily.
A new one, yeah.
Yeah. But if you have
Oh,
you have a magical item or a superior item in Breath of the Wild, it takes much, much longer for it to break. But it does kind of serve that purpose, like Rodrigo said. If you want something to break in your story, then just break it.
Yes.
I would say be cautious that you're not breaking it just to be spiteful, but to make sure that it's serving some story purpose, right, Rodrigo?
Right.
From the way he phrased the question, it sounds like his DM is trying to break weapons, break magic items, and he's trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
kind
thinking
of.
is maybe there's a magic item that broke or a story point where a magic item broke. And he wanted to see if maybe the DM was doing something that's not entirely above board, or he wanted to, give him some friendly feedback. But
Yeah, and unfortunately, there it really sounds like the game master is trying to make break a weapon, and hopefully they're trying to break a weapon for what is an interesting plot reason.
sure.
So in that case, even if there weren't those rules, if your game master wants to institute rules for breaking magic item rules, they're kind of within their right. You kind of can talk to them about it and about your expectations for your magic items. But I mean, in D&D, like magic items just come out of the woodwork anyway. So
Literally sometimes.
yeah. So if your game master breaks your sword because he wants to create an interesting situation, chances are you got a new sword coming, or you can make one, or whatever.
Yeah, hopefully.
You got another sword coming.
All right. Hopefully that answers your question, Josh. And listeners, if you have any questions, podcast@majorspoilers.com is where you need to send them. Hey, gang, you know all about Loot Crate. Loot Crate is that monthly subscription box that gets delivered directly to your door with exclusive pop culture collectibles, apparel, and gear. The best thing about Loot Crate is that they curate and design everything themselves. You can't find these items anywhere else, no matter what you geek out about. Loot Crate has something for you. What kind of things are you going to find in Loot Crate? Well, Loot Crate sent me a box, and not only did I get a t-shirt in my size, but I've got a really cool little Harley Quinn journal. I've got a Rick and Morty statue, I think is what it is. And best of all, my favorite thing in this month's box is a pop socket. You know those things that you put on the back of your phone and you just slide your fingers around it so you can hold on to your phone? My son has one. I've been wanting one. And the one that was sent in this Loot Crate, a Batman pop socket. It's almost like Loot Crate was reading my mind. The original and most popular Loot Crate is a curated collection of items from the best pop culture franchises. In September, the crate includes 4 incredible franchises, including Marvel's Venom, Alien, Predator, and the X-Files. Oh my gosh, it's like all my favorite things from the 90s coming together again for the first time. Every Loot Crate is packed with at least $50 of value, and you get these all for less than $20 a month. And if you want more, Loot Crate also offers 16 other crates from gaming to anime. These crates sell out. You only have until Wednesday, September 19th. The clock is ticking. Wednesday, September 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. to guarantee your order for this month's crate. That includes the Marvel's Venom, the Alien, the Predator, and the X-Files merchandise. So what are you waiting for? Get the best surprises each month from the largest geek and gaming subscription company, Geek Out in Style, with Loot Crate. So subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/criticalhit and enter our code CriticalHit to save an exclusive 15% off of your subscription. That's right, lootcrate.com/criticalhit. Use the code CriticalHit to save an exclusive 15% off your subscription. Well, I'm going to go put on my t-shirt right now. There's a t-shirt that comes in this. So nice. I'm going to play with the toys, the little pop culture items. So much fun. Thank you, Loot Crate, for sponsoring this episode of Critical Hit. Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. I love the Toads Boardwalk. You don't?
That makes you
like
the
where it's
only
going.
one.
Oh, it's going there. It's going there, Brian. No, Brian's there. Matthew is over there. Hey, Matthew.
I like the Toads Boardwalk, except for the whole, Randus in the vault.
And then there's Rob over there.
I haven't said I'm betting Randus yet.
Yeah.
It's the yet that makes
Yes.
it funny.
Yep, there's Sam. Sam's there. Sam, what's going on?
I'm trying to get embedded into a wretched den of scum and villainy. So
There
I'm
you
pretty happy.
go. And of course, we have Rodrigo.
Or as we like to call him, the wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hey, Rodrigo, what's going on with you?
I had a really long nickname in college. So yes, last time,
On critical.
Oh,
On
Hit.
critical hit.
as you guys mentioned, you are trying to get in with the high rollers in this strange casino in this strange island because
We need a head.
Do
I'm
we?
trying to get ahead in the world.
Well, we do need a
Yes.
head. We also need Gamma to hopefully sign on with us, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but we're specific here for the head as opposed to
Right.
treating with Gamma.
That-
So
that's
if things
true,
go
but
bad.
my guess is, if we cheat and steal our way, Gamma may not be too happy with us.
Or maybe he'll like us more.
He might,
Yeah.
but I
He
mean,
might like us if we cheat and steal. I don't know if we just straight up or cheat and not if we steal, probably.
I don't
But
know.
I don't know. Have you ever tried to steal from a casino in Vegas?
if we're
ever
successful,
tried
you
to
think
steal
that
from a
actually
guy?
get him on the good side?
I don't think it puts you on their good side. I think it has you in a very deep basement in the
Yeah, exactly. I
Grand
don't.
Floridian, and then busting your kneecaps and
true.
your knuckles with hammers. Grand Floridians
Well, here's the
in
thing.
Disney World. It still
It's not
works,
that
ladies and
bad.
gentlemen.
We do have multiple goals, and one of them is to get ahead in the world. The other is to see if Gamma is down, Gamma down, Doobie-Doo down, with the whole plot and trying to be the thing. Because what we're really trying to do is to get people to sign on to our treaty, because really, what's more fun than role-playing government, babies?
Hey, everybody loved our civics lesson episode.
It was
It was great.
fabulous. Fabulous.
Anyway, we need to come up with a plan.
Question.
Well, ask.
Plan number one, we should.
While you were playing the game, Cesard, did it seem that they had a high enough level of security to say, I don't know, clearly identify whether you were who you were and weren't possibly mystically taking on, say, the face of one of these fabled high rollers while still being you?
Are you suggesting we don a hat?
I'm simply asking if you think that would even work. I mean, given our lack of success in the Obsidian archives, there's precedent to think that it would be a total and complete failure. But
I mean, the Black Archive? It was black, not Obsidian. The Obsidian's a cool name.
obsidian is a color. It's fine.
there was
Yeah,
a lot
Obsidian.
of obsidian stuff in the southern continent, so they didn't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. I think I was thinking of the obsidian
Make things too
huntress.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
Nonetheless, is that something that we could even put on the list of things to consider?
It's on the list of things to consider, but I'm assuming, much like the place we were staying at, they're going to have rules against that sort of thing, and thus detection for that sort of thing.
Well, he has been asleep a long time. Perhaps Gamma isn't aware that such things exist.
I think illusions are one of those things that has gone back for a long time.
I
I'm
would say
trying
the
out this hopeful thing to see if it really
Boardwalk has
works.
been asleep for a long time.
Mm.
So, by that logic, the other hotel wouldn't have known that illusions exist.
So if I understand it, we need to get in the vault, get the head, get out of the vault.
Yes,
Suppose.
that seems to be the long and short of it.
Is Scratchum still here?
Nope, he went off to find you a high roller.
Oh, that's right.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. He went off for plan A.
Which is?
Find a high
Introduce
roller.
someone into the Cobalt Alley so as we can make a bet about getting the head.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but who owns the head, right?
The house.
Yeah, so how would a high roller be able to get into the vault and get the head out?
The high roller may not necessarily be able to get into the vault, but the high roller can get us up to the tables where we could play against the house.
Okay. All right.
Given that Scratchums is aware of your little coterie of thieves, could that not be a wedge to actually portray you as a high roller? I mean,
that's what we're working on.
We may not even need someone else to do it. We may just need to have you show up and flaunt your credentials, as it were.
Yeah, can't you wave a couple of tickets around and get us up there?
Yeah, I haven't sponsored anybody yet. I don't know that I have that level of clout with the tournament.
Okay.
But they don't know that.
But
and bluffing is part of gambling.
It is, yes.
Yes.
Well spotted, Master of
Doesn't have to be.
It's part of all the best games.
Not the ones that win.
Well, it's
'Cause
like
you're
I always
bad
say,
at
I often cheat and frequently bluff, so we might as well try.
And we're pretty sure, Ket, that you don't want to give a year of your service to Gamma?
Oh, that's a distinct possibility. Like,
we'll call that Plan C. So Plan A, high roller. You giving yourself to Gamma, Plan C. Betting Randus is Plan D. Plan B is breaking into the vault.
Once again, I would like to place any type of jeopardy for Warden Duthane much lower on our list of probabilities.
Oh, yeah, that's why he's all the way down on D. Nobody answers D on a question. D is like the one that, didn't you learn anything when you went to school? When I was at the academy, we always learned you never pick D.
In any case, I honestly, I believe that the possibility of the use of force should be well above any attempt to possibly bet Warden Duthane.
Well, break into the vault was B.
Well, we see where bribe high roller with invite goes.
I'm more concerned about breaking out of the vault.
You just knock on the door.
We'll see.
They'll open it up. They'll be like, "What's going on in there?"
Candy
What if we sold him?
For UNICEF.
Yeah, I don't think we should sell anybody.
Given our excellence
lost him in a bet
at destroying things, I think once inside the vault, we will probably have no problem breaking our way out.
They probably have one of those emergency handles.
Exactly. Look what happened to the last hotel room we were in.
Let's try keeping that on the low end of the spectrum.
We can try. It does not seem to help.
Oh, hey, Steven says, out of character to Brian. Speaking of the last hotel we were in, didn't you hear something about the Hexagon Towers? That might be useful in our conversation.
He said, hinting broadly, out of character.
There was mention of the Hexagon Towers.
There was.
In what context?
Yeah, the birds are made from there.
Yeah, that's true. The money counting birds, apparently they were a bulk order from the Hexagon Towers.
It makes sense.
Can you tell if they're new or from back in the day?
They said pretty much back in the day they ordered them before everyone went to sleep.
So there's an established relationship between the Bronze Prince and Gamma.
Apparently.
At least a trade relationship.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have to be particularly
amicable.
Intimate.
Yeah.
But a mercantile relationship is still a relationship.
Sure. What does that get us, though?
Nothing now, but
something to tuck away.
Possible leverage down the line.
Scratchums comes back
Everybody's real quiet.
Looks to Cat.
So,
I found someone.
excellent. Who?
It's not the highest high roller, but somebody who is very interested and has heard of the Cobalt Alley. They should be able to get you a foothold of some kind.
That sounds reasonable. Lead us to them.
Follow me. Just kind of goes up the stairs into a hotel area. And as you head down a hallway, you get to an area that has some pretty wide doors, maybe 4 or 5 sets of really big doors along a wall, clearly leading to some pretty nice suites. And Scratch Ups leads you to a set, and outside of it are on either side of the door are what appears to be approximately 3 foot tall piles of snot. And there's one on each side.
Are they alive?
He's like
yes,
some kind of ooze.
Or
something like
people.
that.
Ooh, what is that?
When Scratchums approaches, because he's a little bit ahead of you, from inside the snot of the nearest one, a skull floats up and
Oh,
kind
God.
of presses itself up against the membrane.
Why do you hate me? I've shown
is
you nothing
amazing.
but love. Why do you hate me?
He doesn't hate you. He loves your reactions.
Ugh.
The skull is like, who goes there? And Scratchums is like, it's me, Scratchums. We talked like 10 minutes ago. And this thing is like, oh, yeah. Yeah, the boss is waiting for you. And the snot piles slither towards the center of where the doors meet, extend a snot tentacle out each, and open the doors for you guys to walk in.
A snoticle, if you will.
Yep.
I guess we walk in carefully.
But we don't touch the door handles.
A snotopod.
Well, not without washing first or after.
Okay. Inside are 4 more of these things, just kind of standing around. But at the deepest part of what is clearly a suite, there are bedrooms past it. There's like a fountain in the middle of it. Lots of food around. Sitting on a large, very cushiony looking sofa is a creature. It is about probably a good 7 feet tall from the tip of its foot claws all the way to the weird backwards curving horn that comes out of the back of its head. It is very skinny. Its skin is just absolutely pitch black. It has small sunken eyes. It has a rictus grin with exposed teeth, which are jagged and irregular. Has big pointy ears, not like more like the ears of a pig than a person, sticking out of the sides of its head. And like I said, basically its cranium, if you think of it as like starting from the tip of its nose, which is kind of sunken in. It opens up into a face, goes into the head, and then squeezes this horn that comes out the back, going back, and then at the end points back forward. It is, when you look at its limbs, its legs and its feet, It has little beads of some sort of moisture, which up against the extreme dark color of its skin, you can see are bright red.
Do we have any idea what this is?
Well, let me ask you this. Anybody in the room have any idea what this is?
Does it like apples?
I would say it would be some kind of oni, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
In character or out of character?
Out of character. I wanted
Out
to
of
see
character,
if anybody knew what this...
I think it's some horrifying vision that came to you and one night during a migraine, and you hate me so much that you had to share it.
No, it is. It is in fact a D&D monster.
Is it a rust monster?
It is not a
It's
rust
definitely
monster.
not a rust monster.
Down from the back of its head?
So no, it goes up. So basically, the horn points back and then up and then around. Like, you know, if you think about like a curved horn where you go like if you stick that in the back of your head and then it like curves backward and back towards the face.
Yeah, that's what made me think oni, but I honestly don't know.
So you guys can all give me either an Arcana or a religion check.
Pass.
Okay. You can also just not roll if you don't want to.
Let's see. I could roll Arcana and suck, or I could roll religion and suck equally. So
Yeah, you did.
38 with a 3 on a die.
32, 7.
Just like you so much, Brian. I got a 39 with a 14 on the die.
Okay. That's pretty good. Is that just the nerds rolling then?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the jocks got nothing.
Okay. All three of you know that is a demon called a babao. That is what those types of demons are called.
Oh, I knew that.
B-A-B-A-O.
B-A-B-A-U.
Deep cuts, man.
It's one of the best names in the game.
Right?
Yep. So Scratchums walks in ahead of you and says, allow me to introduce Bexka Nuralimpa the Babao. So I will, I guess also since you rolled pretty well, give you some information on Babao. So they're demons, which means their usual alignment is
Evil.
Chaotic evil.
Chaotic evil. That's right.
Yay.
Babao are so devils tend to center around jobs and where
Order.
you know somebody might be like a general or an assassin or something like that. Demons are much more towards general concepts and ideas, and Babao are very duplicitous and untrustworthy. Like that is what kind of is at their core. And so that means that any given Babao might be like a master of stealth or a very charismatic person, or they might, you know, shoot poison out of their eyes. Like, you know, it's like, again, conceptually, it's more of a thing rather than, say, a demon who can invisibly move books around a library because that's its little job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
They have less a shtick than an existential state.
Yep.
Would this have been a thing that Ket may have encountered before?
I don't think... I think it's possible, actually, that somebody fought a Babao at some point during the game.
Okay.
Maybe in Tuberville. But I don't remember.
Okay. So these are definitely Asmodeus's...
No. No, Asmodeus tends to surround himself with devils.
Devils. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Being a
that
dwarf.
said, Asmodeus has his fingers and everything. Like Asmodeus, if you guys remember your tour of the Gulag Magnificent, Asmodeus actually has angels working for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very disappointed I missed the tour of the Gulag Magnificent.
Orem hands
you're
you
not.
pods of casting.
I'm good.
Orem missed the tour of the Gulag.
Yeah, I wasn't there either. I do remember
I got
Tuberville.
stuck with the Devanic duo to try and make a bargain with the literal devil.
Sorry.
I do remember Tuberville, and suddenly a tear starts to go down Orm's side as he thinks about Pretty Boy. And
Hey, was that the point where I screwed everything up by ticking off the giant evil guy by being all stupid, dumb hero guy?
Yeah.
I don't think you screwed everything up, but
I threw a wrench in the plans, and later on, you totally stabbed me in the heart with it and twisted.
Oh,
I
you
don't-
mean
I don't-
this
I don't
season?
No, I mean previous season, back when I had horns.
Wait, Sakar doesn't have horns?
No.
the way you stop that. The way I remember it, you just went through a pretty normal demon encounter,
Mhm.
and then at the end you were like, "You tell your boss that I said this," and being a very organized person, Asmodeus still had your memo. That
Which is why you
as I
never
recall,
tell
it that's
demons
exactly what
things.
happened.
I
Right.
think the only problem you caused in that particular encounter was using your axe to throw everything into the pit. Most specifically Smith, who tried to take a step back.
We're not getting back into this.
That was 5 seasons ago. I mean, how many times have you lit me on
All
fire?
right, let's negotiate with the demon.
listen, it's not our problem right now.
Yep. So,
Steven.
Scratchums goes back over and says, "This is Ket and his entourage. He is a player in the Kobold Alley." And Scratchums walks over to the door and closes it behind him.
Scratchums leave, or he's still in the room with us?
He
No,
leaves,
Yeah,
but he's probably right outside.
listening.
Bexka motions at the ample seating.
We'll take him up on his offer and find a preferably not snotty place to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way to remain standing without seeming like you're being defiant?
Behind me.
Give me a diplomacy check.
All right. I'm
I'm
real good at diplomacy.
pretty sure that's not true.
How do you feel about a 14?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's at least a
Probably.
15.
Sakar actively
Wow.
ratchets up the tension in the room.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's group
Like-
diplomacy. Allies within 10 squares get a +1 to diplomacy.
Oh, because it's 15.
All right,
So
15. Yeah.
I don't ratchet up the tension so much as I sort of just,
Uh,
end wrench.
I think basically what happens is Sakar is like, I want to remain standing, but I don't want that to seem threatening. So I'm going to move away from the main conversation. So basically Sakar goes over to the door, stands in front of it so that no one can escape, quote unquote,
Can I go ahead
and
use
crosses his
empathic read
arms.
here? Ally fails a bluff, diplomacy or intimidate check.
Oh,
We get a
okay,
roll.
go ahead.
I'm going to try and drag Sakar with me.
I'm reading it.
Go ahead and you're giving him a reroll?
Yep.
All right, go for it, Matthew.
Oh, wait, so you're... Yeah, how about a nat 20, baby? Yeah.
Let's
Suddenly,
turn around.
Sakar realizes, perhaps this is a douchey thing to do.
He reads
Yeah,
the room
so-
and adjusts.
Well, Ket reads the room. So here's what I think happens. Sakar is starting to go over to the door, but before he really settles on it, Ket catches his eye and motions to a cart full of drinks. And so Sakar goes and like a cool guy starts pouring drinks.
There we go.
The
I
rest of
meant
us
to do
sit.
that. That's
Yes.
exactly how I wanted that to look.
That power has paid off for you so many times.
I know. I love that power. That's the best power I don't have.
So everybody else sits down?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Bexka says, so I hear you're trying to get into some of the private rooms.
That's the general plan, yes.
And did I hear that you have a bit of a bargaining chip?
I am capable of sponsoring, yes.
What exactly are you trying to accomplish in your time in the private rooms?
There's a item of significance.
Many items of significance.
I'm going to avoid lies there, sir. There is an item of significance that the house holds, which I and my compatriots have wanton interest in.
Ah, I see. So you're trying to get something out of the house.
Precisely.
That is going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, usually these things are. The house doesn't like to part with its winnings.
Well, if you can, in fact, sponsor me in the Kobold Alley, I would certainly be willing to try my best to get you into one of the private rooms.
How good is your best?
My best is very, very good.
Does he have access to the vaults?
I assume he does not.
He may have something in there.
Is Orem actually whispering that?
Yes.
I'll just kind of gesture for him to speak.
You wouldn't by any chance have your own way into the vaults, do you?
Oh, I can get in and out of anywhere I want.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And what's that worth to you?
That would be worth more than a sponsorship, especially here.
Like 2 sponsorships?
It doesn't work that way.
It might. Be quiet. I'm negotiating.
For me to break into one of these highly secure, highly guarded vaults and retrieve something for you, I would need something very valuable in return. Something concrete.
I start to pull out some of my hair potion.
Do you have something in mind?
You seem like adventurers, so I assume at least one of you has something very valuable.
Orem puts away his hair potion.
Yeah, also this guy doesn't have any hair.
So he might have a girlfriend or something that he wants to impress?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Get him some horn polish.
Oh, Orem reaches into his other pocket. What would we have that would be that valuable, I wonder? We have some eggs
Equipment?
we have our eggs in our handy haversacks.
We still don't know what those do. I'm not going to trade something we don't know what it does.
We may find out what it does.
Yeah, we're not going to find it out from a demon.
We may find out where it takes him. Oh. No. Your nature is very capricious. What say do we have that you would
Follow through on our deal?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. I certainly, if you were able to make it worth my while, I would be willing to carry through. You can negotiate with unknown quantities with basic concepts, right? You can just show me that you have something I want and not give it to me until I get what you want.
True. I was more going with the smaller deal. I'm not particularly sold on the idea of breaking into the vault just yet.
Oh. Well, that's fine. That sounds hard.
Breaking into the vault or us winning our way in through your
well,
deal?
both, now that you mention it, but breaking into the vault sounds hard for me. Certainly getting into a table with some chips for you to lose would not be that difficult.
How long do you think it would take us from a private table that you got us to being able to field the stakes that would be needed to get into the vault?
That depends on how good a gambler you are, and by that I mean in the more complete sense. What sort of risks you're willing to take. The stakes get pretty high.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. Well, for one, I hit a streak of bad luck on my tables for a little while, and let's just say that my entourage used to have skeletons.
What happened to them?
Oh, it's fine. They don't really need bones. It's just helpful. But the bones that they generate are somewhat valuable, so I had to ante it, and things didn't go so well.
Ket, you think you can do better than you did with the assistant? Because I like my bones. I do need them.
If we're playing games more like what we saw downstairs, then certainly. Guy. Is there a history of demons?
Definitely. It's clear that Bexka can see Guy, and he like narrows his eyes to slits when Guy comes out. And when Guy sees him, he doesn't come out all the way.
Right. I've played against demons in the tournament already, haven't I?
Yep.
Okay. What is necessary for me to sponsor this gentleman? Guy?
Well, you would just have to tell one of the officiants that you wish to sponsor him and give them his name. You also have the capability of taking him to the Kobold Alley if it's under the auspices of a potential sponsorship. And Bexa says, well, yes, that I would have expected that.
If you get me to one of the tables, I can sponsor you.
I believe that I can do that.
Such a bad idea.
Ket, this isn't going to get us, lose us a bargaining chip for later, right?
How many things can I sponsor, Guy?
there's no set number. It just gets progressively more insulting.
Did any of us actually hear or understand that?
No, guys talking in secret demon language.
You speak
devil
Supernal, you
language.
understand it.
Yep. If you have Supernal in your sheet, you understand it.
Sure don't.
Hang on, let me write that down. Supernal is in my sheet.
And I assume a more prestigious sponsorship would look less insulting.
Yeah.
I don't believe this will lose us any particular bargaining chip.
Okay.
A sleeping god or a freshly awoken god is still nothing to scoff at.
You also need to consider what you are willing to bet and what you have to bet. Because I can get you in, but if you can't muster the ante, then you're not going to last very long.
You're not
What is the
wrong.
ante?
For something like this, we can start small. If you have, say, a collection of, I don't know, skilled slaves, maybe 12 or more, an astral ship, some kind of perfect star of a lower rank.
I look at Randus. Isn't part of your chest thing made out of the
twin perfect star?
No, the perfect, the only perfect stars that you've come into contact with, you guys used to blow up the void.
No, okay. I thought part of it went into his.
Perfect stars.
I believe part of Penelope's chronometer is in there, is it not?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of us were there.
I was not there, but I heard about it.
I learned a long time ago never to gamble anything that you weren't prepared to lose. I could walk away from this if you want to.
May we have a moment to confer?
Of course. I'll just be out this way. And he opens the window and crawls out and like a very unsettling joint shouldn't move that way.
Excellent.
Just kind of up the wall.
So what do
You're
we
still
have?
like the snot guys are still in the room. Just so you know.
This would be a time to cast telepathy. So that we can communicate now and for the next 8 hours.
Takes a while to perform that.
How long does it take?
10 minutes.
Let's just talk.
I don't have any slaves.
None of us have any slaves, Orem.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd be betting like the Don's Arena.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, well.
Isn't there another ship back home that they could take instead?
Well, we don't have that here now, do we?
Well, didn't say we had to have it on our person.
I imagine that we would have to have access to it.
We have a locator. I'm not saying it's the right call, but we have one.
I say nope. That's our only way of getting around. There's only one of these. I know that makes it incredibly valuable, but we lose this, everything's over. We might as well just turn out the lights and die, because the universe, we will not be able to complete our mission without that ship.
All right. Then are any of you guys holding something super magical?
We have a thing that will kill a god.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's also not for sale.
No?
We have eggs.
Yeah.
We have my demon sword.
I don't think
it's probably not
anyone's
that magical.
interested in
Yes,
eggs.
let's sell the demon sword. I am in.
I'm not sure that it's the equivalent of a dozen slaves and/or an astral ship.
We could offer.
We can get it a praise.
It's too bad they just can't go with monies.
Yeah, I think money is cheap.
So, is there anything?
I have souls.
You have souls?
How many?
Oh, yeah. How many of those?
Wait, who do they belong to?
Cat?
Him now.
Me?
So
belong to
what would
me.
happen if you traded part of your soul?
It would potentially cost me some power.
You've never had that happen in the opposite direction. You actually don't know what would happen.
Or worse.
Great.
It's what I gamble with in the tournament. But
Look.
I've also never lost, so.
Well, I do know this. Any form of gambling, the house always has an advantage, which means anything we put up, we are going to lose.
We
And
certainly
as
have to be
Sparkle said,
prepared to lose it.
yes, and as Sparkle said, we should only be offering up things that we are willing to part with forever. Sorry, assistant.
So we are back at the point where we have to consider the violent solution.
We're back at the point where we have to consider leaving this place, going to try to seek an
Empty-handed.
audience with Gamma, and possibly getting back in here through that.
I think that seems like our best course of action right now. The other idea I have, he didn't say it had to be the Dawn's Arena.
Right, he just said a ship.
No.
Right, he said an astral ship.
So we could contact the island and have another ship sent if we need to.
It'll take a
How
long
long?
time.
We could procure a ship.
Yeah, the time it would take to do that sort of piracy is time we don't really have.
Or maybe we just buy it. Or Ket gambles it. I mean, this is an island of gambling. Maybe the captain is drunk and Ket just happens to get a full hand or whatever you call those things.
So are we agreed that we cannot deal with this creature?
No, I'm not agreed with that. I'm just saying that we need to be very careful.
I'm not sure that we have anything of enough value to actually join the tables that we're willing to risk.
That's my concern as well.
Yes. I mean,
And I guess I wouldn't mind getting rid of the starfish, but we wouldn't want it falling in the wrong hands.
exactly.
I'm pretty sure that we owe someone on that starfish. I'm not
No,
entirely
we just
certain.
owed him to bring it back to this Virtus. We've done our job on
Yes.
that.
Exactly.
We could get rid of it tomorrow, but yeah, there you ever play like a pass card game where sometimes you have a really bad card, and if you get stuck with the bad card, it's probably at the end of the game. But you want to hold on to it anyways because you really don't want it just floating out there to hit you at a time where you're not prepared for it. That's the starfish.
Take your word on it.
So you're saying don't put up the starfish?
Yeah, we hold on to it. We play it at the
Right.
right time.
Okay, good. So, no ship, no starfish, no Randus.
Quetzal's your sword?
My sword. I pull out my sword.
It's a sword. It's got an eyeball on it.
Hey,
Hi.
what kind of value do you think you have?
I'm very valuable.
Like how valuable? Like more than the ship that we've been using?
Like liters and liters of blood.
Oh, liters of blood. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
So yeah, I think that's valid ante.
I agree. Liters and liters of blood sounds delicious, but does it?
Man, I don't want to lose my sword.
We literally have no idea what sort of stakes would even be appropriate.
Yeah, that's why
even
we
if
can
we were to offer
sword.
something.
Offer the sword. If worst comes to worst, they say that's not enough, and then we reconsider, and then possibly just leave.
Worst comes to worst, I lose my sword, and I don't have the powers that I need.
Don't you have multiple other swords?
I only brought one. I didn't think we'd be gone that long.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Of course, that was, a whole continent ago.
Whole plane of existence again.
Yes.
Got a backup sword.
It's not always that simple. Swords are specific.
Anyway.
I mean, they're like daggers, right? Like you get attached and it's nice, but
a
this
sword
smart.
is nothing like a dagger. How dare you? In any case.
Oh, it's sapient. I don't know about smart.
Oh, it's smart.
So, shall we offer?
It's a thing that I think we could bid and lose. Look, it's your sword. It's your guys' call. I don't have anything that's worth table stakes here except for maybe my services.
Yeah, what about that? What about a favor? How much is a favor worth?
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, depends on what we're willing to do. And probably I'm thinking a lot of the things favors that a demon would ask for are not things that I'm willing to do.
Well, it's not the demon. It would be whoever we're playing, correct?
Sure, but let's say we're playing another demon.
Well, I mean, you put stipulations on the favor. Can't bring harm to
non-murdery favor.
I mean, it depends on who we're murdering.
Agreed.
No children.
It's not as though we have.
What if they really have it coming?
I think perhaps the philosophical argument takes us a step or two past where we need to be. If we are going to offer anything, we need to first find whether it even has any value to these things.
So,
yeah, let's have the demon appraise the sword, and then decide.
Seems reasonable.
And if it's not enough, then we'll have to find other ways. Because again, as far as I'm concerned, the ship is out of the question, and we don't have any access to any perfect stars that I know of.
So yeah,
sword. Get rid of the sword. I don't like it anyways.
The sword and potentially the eggs.
Potentially
your soul.
Yeah. Not necessarily my soul per se.
I worry that mentioning the eggs might be insulting.
Yeah, I don't like the eggs. I still don't know what they are. You shouldn't bet something you don't know what it is.
What about your demon kit? Is it worth anything?
Wait, want it?
He is only available through Cobalt Alley practices.
Downloadable content.
Well, let's see what the value of the sword is, and see if that gets us in. Otherwise, somebody's going to be spending a lot of that material back home to make me a new sword.
I can make you something.
A spider sword.
Spider sword. That sounds sweet.
Spiders.
Do it.
Why does it have to be?
When you sing it, spiders come out of it.
It's true. It would be.
It's like instead of an eye, it's just like a spider egg sac.
Just a leg.
into it.
I can have it ask you to kill your.
Yeah, there you go. It'll be just
If
like
only
it
for
never
old
left.
time's sake.
Better not lose, Ket. Let's bring him back.
He pokes his head in.
I hold up my sword. Would this be something that would be of value to get Ket onto the table and to be able to bet his thing, however this works?
He crawls back into the room, like holds out his hands for you to like place the sword on them.
Sure.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Hold out my hand and take the sword back.
I don't know if I like that response.
He seems very careful that you don't touch his hands when he hands the sword back to you.
Is everything still on my sword?
Nope. Your sword is clean.
Meaning that...
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
You can like talk to it and stuff.
All right.
It's not dripping with acid at this time.
Or that the eyeball decided to migrate to a different place.
No, it just told him to kill us.
Bexica did not open a third eye.
I just kind of whisper, what did you guys talk about?
All kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, cool. Tell me later, okay?
Okay.
That's terrifying.
So you're okay with this, Orem?
Not really, but do I have any other choice? Do we have any other choice besides Randus, break into a vault, whatever plan C was?
Abandoned plan, good friends.
Yes, there was. A, high
There were
roller.
no
B,
plans.
break into the vault. D, gamble Randus. And I
These are
forgot
not
what plan C
plans.
was.
These are vague notions.
Would this be enough to get you to break into the vault?
Plan G, Molotov cocktails.
Oh man, if you
Shouldn't
we're
the
not going to just
cocktails be Plan C?
I don't want to just give it away.
Yeah, but
I mean,
if
at least
you
when
bet it
gamble,
in-
there's a chance to get it back. And you know, if Ket wins in the first hand, I get the sword back, and he gets whatever the other person has, and he can use
You
that to
should
gamble
be
the next
allowed
round.
to
Wasn't there some plan of gambling and hopefully winning and having that be some kind of show?
Yeah, I'm
of-
just saying that if we can just get it right here with the sword as opposed to gambling and maybe losing.
At least if Ket uses it to gamble, there's a good chance I'm going to get it back. If we just hand it over,
You
there's
have
no chance I'm giving it back.
that that's the case. You don't know that.
There's a better chance of me getting the sword back if we gamble it
Yes,
than
and
me
there's
just
a
giving it
much
over to
better
this
chance
demon.
that we do it and then we don't get what we came here for.
Well, that's
Actually, may I just,
Yes, please.
if I may? It's actually very likely that whatever you ante, you're going to end up losing. This is very much a first step. In fact, you might determine that it's not helpful for you to win the first time around. Just getting into the tables is an accomplishment itself.
Mm.
Will we have a chance to win it back then?
You could, if you ask for that to be part of whatever ante you're involved in. But that would be up to the house to decide as to whether it put it forth or not. Did I hear you say you were planning or considering anteing one of your party?
no. It's Plan D. Nobody picks Plan D.
It had been discussed.
Is he skilled?
I mean, he has. I mean,
Very.
he's capable. Sure.
Incredibly.
Well,
What about his services? Would his services be worth something?
again, you're going up against the house, so that is who is most likely going to end up with whatever it is that you're betting. So if you think he would have some sort of use to a casino, then yes.
Certainly.
One wondrous Randus object?
Maybe.
Minus the Randus, of course.
Well,
it's the
if we
second best
lose
thing
this
to a
first
favor.
bet, we're going to need other things to wager with.
2 wondrous Randus creations.
Oh, yes. Almost certainly you will need something else. There is the possibility of you winning something else on the side that you could use to leverage further, but you should probably be prepared to lose a couple of things if you're going to gamble your way in.
This is Rodrigo, everybody. You're playing into his trap.
And this
Starfish?
whole thing is a trap.
No starfish. Last resort starfish.
Can I see the sword again?
Yeah, sure.
Like he's making a friend.
Takes the sword. Hands it back to Orem. Smiles.
Orem takes it, puts it away.
Would it be
Steps
enough
back.
to get you to get this into the vault for us?
I would certainly consider it. This sword is very special.
Yes, it
It's
is
one of a
very
kind,
special.
isn't it?
It is one of a kind. You can tell Orem's
Yes.
getting really agitated. My precious.
If you guys want to abort, we still can. If you guys want to trade the sword to try to get a guarantee victory, we could do that. Otherwise, things are going to get very complicated very fast, and we still have no guarantees.
We should try to find Gamma.
Come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's think about this. There's a lot of things to think about. No offense, Mr. Bexka.
No offense taken, but boredom is starting to take hold.
I understand.
How long can this? Will you be here?
Should be here for the next couple of weeks.
Then let us consider, and we'll come back with our decision.
Fine.
We exit.
Okay. Scratchums is outside.
Hey there, Scratchums.
Hi, how'd it go?
Some progress.
Okay, where to now?
Gamma.
Would you happen to know how to find Gamma?
Sure. He lives in the enormous pools at the center of the island.
Is he taking visitors?
If you got something he wants to see or someone he wants to talk to.
Scratchums, what do you want out of your life here?
I want your money.
I know, but don't you want to grow in power and status?
Well, no, I don't. Because if I grow in power and status, I'll turn into something else.
Oh.
And I don't want that.
Okay. So there's nothing we could do for you that might help us get what we need. Besides money.
No. I can help you get what you need. That's what helps me. Because then I get your money.
So if we gave you
And makes little grabby hands at you.
We need an audience with Gamma.
But you said if you could get into the vault, you could get the head, but that's not what you need. But what if we paid you for that service?
That would be too dangerous.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, what if it's a lot of money and I do the hands thing too?
I have to be able to spend that money.
Our money's good?
Yeah.
He's talking about surviving the process.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
see.
All right. Can you, point us in the direction of Gamma?
Sure. If you go north by northeast, you should be able to trek through the forest and avoid the boardwalk. It's more dangerous, but you're less likely to get caught by a sausage on a stick stand.
Yeah, there were a lot of those. All right, how about we pay you out for now? We'll likely be back.
Okay.
Give him some money.
Okay. So, Ket's cashing out?
Yep.
Okay. So, taking in Scratchum's cut, Sakar made 14 silver, which I think might be 1 whole gold.
Nice. Or 1/3 of an electrum.
Yep.
Or 10% of a chrysanthemum.
Man, I think we made this too complicated.
Maybe.
You can always count on the players to make things complicated.
We made things too freaking complicated? What are the odds that we've been doing this for 9 years?
No, we are.
Turns out we could have finished this campaign
14 weeks ago. I think we're like gun shy, right? It's like.
Yeah.
Well, we're all remembering the incident with the assistant. Every time we say Ket's going to gamble, everybody just goes, but the last time he screwed it up.
Yeah, but we got the assistant back, right?
We beat the hell out of the people who won him. We stole the assistant back.
That'll
which, given
teach
that
them
my
to gamble.
advice from the beginning was, let's just beat these people up, really felt
we
like
didn't
we
actually
added.
beat anyone up. We just ran. I just stole something. I did it the non-violent way.
I punched people.
Yeah, you were punching other people, not actually the people who we gambled with the assistant.
There were people who got punched.
Wasn't there a giant Archon or something that showed up?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a giant Archon that showed up.
And that's the thing. I feel like we should cut out the middleman and punch people up front. It feels more honest.
I just get the feeling that Rodrigo's just deleting blocks of text. These sons of bees.
Oh,
No.
don't you worry about me.
Yeah, Rodrigo has been managing us for years, man. He's laughing maniacally, going, they are falling into my trap, blah.
Okay, so Ket cashes out. Once you factor in all the money that you owe Scratchums or his cut, and once you collect on a couple of like side pots that were still like being played for, Ket gets 13,300 gold.
What?
Nice.
That almost doubles my gold.
It's more than the gold that I have in my pockets.
And definitely once you cash out and you go to pay Scratchums, he just like holds up his hands and all of the tarnished pieces of gold like fly out of your bags and buckets and whatever and into the sleeves of his cloak.
Neat.
That is a nifty trick.
That is a horrifying trick.
If you ever need me again, I'll be in the crossroads.
All right.
Thank you, Scratchums.
Yep, he wanders away.
So through the forest to meet the god?
Yeah.
To Gama's house we go.
To Gama's house we go. And I think that's probably a perfect time to end this week's episode. I know, people are like, just throw in the sword or just give up Randus. No one cares.
Can I just say that it's offensive that we are considering betting Randus, but worrying about your sword?
Oh, no.
I'm not worried about that sword. Screw that sword.
Randus's services. Oh, wait. I'm going to have a long conversation with the sword about
what did you talk to?
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm gonna find
I
out
met
exactly.
Demon. He's my new best friend.
Maybe. We don't know. We'll find out
The
next
DMs
time.
are
Until then,
VS-S forever.
podcast at majorspoilers.com to send us all your questions. Apple Podcasts, where you can put in all of your 5-star reviews. And, of course, patreon.com/majorspoilers, where you can give a little back to keep this show going far into the future. Thank you so much for checking us out this week. Real quick, we are on the social medias, and you can contact us there. You can find me at Major Spoilers.
You can find me at DND Brian,
Rob,
letter N.
At Boar Immortal.
Sam,
At Samantha Nelson 1.
Matthew,
At Mighty King Cobra.
and, of course, Rodrigo.
At Fearsome Critter.
There you go, everybody. Add us to your lists. We may follow you back. You never know. Till next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.